Happy New Year, guys! You're welcome back to Pikama Stitches. Today we're making this beautiful corset dress, 3-tiered flay. So kindly stay tuned. So, guys, I'll be using bra cup to make this corset. Now, the bust I'm working with is bust 45, but I bought a bra cup of 48. So at least 2 inches above. Is it? I don't know if that's how they call it. Above your normal bra cup, your round bust. And then I have this beautiful Ankara print, 6 yards, and my zipper. So let's get right into class. I've already cut out my lining. It's folded into two. I'm going to be marking with my lining, okay, freehand of course. And then this your lining should give you your bust round plus minimum 4 inches, okay. So what you're going to do is at the top part, I'm going to be marking half of an inch. Okay, that's where all my measurements are going to be starting from. I'm going to mark this several times in order to get a straight line. Okay, and I'm going to connect this into a straight line. So all my measurements are going to be starting from this line. So like I said earlier, from that line I'm going to mark. That line will serve as my shoulder line. Shoulder to nipple point is 11.5. Okay, now shoulder to under bust is 15.5, but since we're making a corset, you will take out half of an inch. Okay, you won't use your exact under bust measurement to get the perfect fit. That's another secret. Okay, so now the waistline is 18.5 and then half of an inch to join to the lower part. Okay, so I'm going to mark this at several points in order for me to get a straight line. Nipple point 11.5, our new under bust line. Whatever your under bust is, just take out half of an inch from that. Okay, and then our waistline and our sewing allowance. Go ahead and connect your lines. Okay, connect it into a straight line. Meanwhile, how have you guys been? Happy New Year! I've missed you guys. Thank you so much for the subscribers, the likes. I haven't really seen comments, but I really appreciate, and I believe this year will be a great year for us all. Okay, God bless you guys so much. So I'm going to go ahead and label my lines: bust point on the bust, waistline, and the half inch at the lower part is the full length. Okay, so what we're going to be doing next, I'm going to mark my shoulder divided by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. I'm going to mark a regular 3 inches neck width. Okay, then from the shoulder I'm going to mark down my chest line. In order to get your chest line, divide your round bust by 6 and add 1.5 to that. So for mine I have 9.1. I'm going to mark that down. Okay, I'm marking it twice in order to get a straight and accurate line. So I'll go ahead and draw this line out, and this line automatically becomes our chest line. Okay, so I felt this line wasn't straight. Okay, so I had to correct that. Be sure you can check over and over again to be sure of what you're doing. We want to be precise on what we're doing, and we need this to be as correct as possible so you can get the perfect fit you saw at the beginning. So these are chest line. Now what I'm going to go ahead to mark next is going to be the same measurement I marked on my shoulder line, the 8 inches. Repeat the same measurement on your chest line and go ahead and connect these lines like so into a straight line. Then I'll go ahead and slant down my shoulder by 1 inch. Since our shoulder is not straight, you can't leave it straight. I'll slant it and connect it to my neck, width. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be marking now, guys, is our nipple to nipple measurement. Okay, So the nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 4.5 inches. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and mark this 4.5 inches from your chest line all the way to the hem of your top. Okay, I had to mark this severally. Okay, these are of my new year resolutions. I have to make my line straight and accurate. Don't mind me, guys. So I had to connect this into a straight line. Okay, so this line will guide us with our back up. So watch what I'm doing, guys. You're going to fold your back up into two. Want to get the midpoint because that midpoint needs to align with this your nipple to nipple line. So you can go ahead and mark it with your chalk, or you can go ahead and notch it very little. I had to notch mine. Okay, so when you're done, just turn your bra cup out. Again, just watch what I'm doing. Let your bra cup rest directly at your underbust, and let that line, that notch you just made, let it rest on your nipple to nipple line. That was the essence of folding it into two. Okay, just place it there. It will give you, automatically give you your center line. Okay, the distance between the two breasts. Okay, so when you place this, ensure that your notch is resting on your nipple to nipple line. Okay, so hold this firmly, do not push it down, do not add much pressure so it doesn't change the form of your bra cup. Just a little bit of stability, okay, for you to draw out the line. So go ahead and follow the curve you have on your bra cup. Like I said, if your bust round is 45, buy a bra cup of 48 inches. Okay, since we do not have 47, you can go for 48, okay, or 50. Okay, there has to be 2 inches, I don't know if that's how they call it, difference. Okay, if your bust is 36 inches, go for a bra cup of 38 inches. Okay, that's how you go about it. So after drawing this out, connect that line to your chest line. Can you see what we have here? We've drawn out our curve for the bust. So I have exactly half of an inch at the center. Can you see? So the bra cup determines the bust separation for you. Now from the shoulder, you're going to determine your yoke, how covered you want your bra cup to be on you. Okay, you don't want your breast to be exposed on this corset dress. Okay, you can determine that. Now I'm going to show us, this is a tip for big bust. No matter the bust size, when you use this tip, you will definitely come out well covered and beautiful. So I didn't remember to mark out my armhole cuff. So what I just did here was to fold what I have on my chest line from the slanted part into two, mark the midpoint, and then I went in by half of an inch, and then I'm going to slant this to create my armhole cuff. And I'm marking my bust measurement, bust round on the chest line. So I'll connect these 3 points together. Just watch the way I'm curving this out. It's as simple as that. Okay, so if you watched this point and you've not liked, please, this new year, change, please, kindly like. Okay, more interesting tutorials are going to be coming up on this channel. Okay, so kindly like and comment. Thank you. So guys, I've extended the bra cup line up to my chest line. So can you see what we have there? I decided to bring in my bra cup again. Can you see what we have? Now when you do this, since you've extended your yoke, you don't want your bust to be exposed. This is a corset that covers the bust very well. So you're going to bring back your bra cup, place it the way you placed earlier. Can you see the difference we have? This bra cup is not going to cover our bust. So let's do this hack together. From your yoke point, connect through the fullest part of the bra cup to your under bust. Okay, not with pressure, gently. Okay, and what I have here is 9.5 inches. Okay, so kindly write that aside, whatever figure you have, from wherever you want your yoke to start from. Okay, mark it. But when you measure the bra cup, what I have here is 8 inches. We have a difference of 1.5 inches. Definitely, just the bra cup cannot cover up our breasts. Okay? So now we have a difference of 1.5. So I'm going to show us how to cover up our bust. I was trying to straighten out my line. Okay? So whatever difference you have with this method, you can always put, even if it's 3 inches difference, 4 inches difference, you can always use your bra cup to get this perfect look that you saw, and your bra cup will come out deep, your corset to come out beautiful. So kindly mark the difference you have. We're going to be working with that. So this 1/2 inch I have here, I'm going to extend it to where my yoke is going to be starting from. Okay, now this is for people that want their corset to be covered. You don't want to expose your bust, but if you want to expose your bust, you can always bring down your yoke some more, or you work with where your bra cup stops. Okay, it's still okay. So after getting these basic parts, I'm going to be determining my yoke. So what I have left here is 5 inches, and I'm going to be using that. I'm working with a Queen Anne neckline, okay, but the center part to be straight. So from my shoulder slant, I'm going to come inwards by 1.5 inch and connect it. Just watch the way I'm connecting this, okay? So this forms my yoke. Okay, can you see this? So from wherever, you can decide to do 3.5 inches, okay, and then I connect it from the armhole. I went inwards by 1.5 inch, so we won't be using this other part anymore. Okay, so this 1/2 inch is just fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to mark 1/2 of an inch round. Remember, we're using a freehand method. Okay, remember to add this 1/2 of an inch round your bra cup. Okay, this pattern that you have, so you don't end up having excess when trying to put in your bra cup while sewing. It doesn't fit in. We don't want that. Okay, if you want to get the exact perfect fit you saw at the beginning of this video, remember to add your 1/2 of an inch round the bra cup like I'm doing here. Okay, and extend it. Remember to extend it all the way to your chest line. So I had already marked out my bust circumference divided by 4. I'm adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance at the under bust. Okay, my under bust and the waistline is the same measurement, so I'm just going to go ahead and mark my under bust divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I'm going to mark the same thing at the waistline, and then I'll just go ahead and connect. So it's as simple as that. It's very easy to do. You mustn't use pattern. If you want to use pattern, it's fine, but you can still achieve this very easily. Okay, any tutorial you like for us to work on this new year, kindly drop a comment. Okay, and we'll totally work on that. Thank you so much, guys, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't. This is my new year gift. I actually dropped a post, okay, and I said the first 3 or so persons that comment are going to get a Christmas gift from me, and I was so hurt that nobody said anything. I felt so hurt, but I bless God. We move. So please, this new year, kindly help my ministry. Thank you, guys. So go ahead and cut. Just follow the way I'm cutting this. If you want to do a round neckline, it's fine. If you want a sweetheart neck, you can slant it the way you see me do, but I wanted the center to be straight. If you want a complete Queen Anne neck, okay, after slanting it this way, kindly slope at the center like you saw me do. Okay, but this is the requested style, so let's work with this. So can you see what we have here? I took my time. I didn't fast forward this part because I wanted you to see the places we're cutting through so you don't get confused. Okay, Add half of an inch to your shoulder for joining. Now watch where I'm cutting. I'm cutting at the half inch that I added round. Okay, so cut through your half inch round, and you cut through and you are done. You can decide to leave your yoke the way it is, but I separated mine. I'm going to be separating both front and back, and then we'll attach them back together later. So watch where I'm separating it from. Okay, I'll go ahead and cut this out, and this is our front yoke. So when you open this up and you bring in your bra cup, you're going to see that it's not going to fit in, because remember, we have an excess of 1.5 inch that we need to add to this bra cup for it to cover our bust perfectly. Remember, we marked 9.5. So after attaching everything, this is where you're going to be adding your yoke to. Can you see? So go ahead and mark out the back of our dress, the upper part. So I folded my fabric into two for the back. I'm going to go ahead and mark 1.5 inch at the lower part, and that 1.5 will help me to eliminate zipper bulge. I'll connect it in a slanted manner to the top part. Just watch the way I'm connecting this. Can you see this? So from this line, I'm going to be marking my actual zipper allowance line. I'm going to be working with 1.5 inch zipper allowance. I'm going to mark the 1.5 inch all the way to the top. Follow the slant line, okay? The slanted line will guide you. Because our back is not straight, it will help the back to lay flat on your body. Okay, this is another method I use, and before the end of this tutorial I'll show you another method I add to this to make the back of my dress and my top stay flat. If you've been following my tutorial, you observe how the back of my fabrics always come out so perfect. So this is one of the secrets. So all our measurements are going to be starting from this second line. Please take notes, okay? Not the first line. Go ahead to mark my shoulder divided by 2 like we did for the front. I'll mark the 3 inches neck width, okay? And then you're going to go ahead and mark down 1 inch for shoulder slope, okay? I had to mark my shoulder to bust. We don't need under bust for the back, and then shoulder to waist. For now we're using the front waist. Later we're going to be correcting that, okay? Just keep watching. And then I added half of an inch like I did for the front. I'm going ahead to mark it again the second time for accuracy. You should get used to that by now. So I'll go ahead and connect the lines to get a straight line. Just basically the same thing we did for the front, but the only difference here is that we're not going to be adding on the bust measurements to this. So go ahead and connect your lines into a straight line. So remember, like we did for the front, my chest line was 9.1 inch. I'm going to draw that out. Remember, from the bust went up by 2 inches to get that line. So I'm trying to cross check again to be sure. I don't know what's happening to my lines today. So I had to cross check again to be sure I was working with the right measurements. Always do that, okay? It helps your outfit come out perfect. So remember, we're marking from this second line, okay? So I'm going to be marking the same measurement I had on my shoulder in order to connect for my chest line. And then I connected my shoulder slant. We are using the same neck with 3, okay, like we did for the front, so it aligns perfectly. Now from this line, I'm going to be marking my bust circumference divided by 4, 11.5. I'm connecting it from the chest line to the bust point. It's the same thing. So I'm folding this chest line into two to get the midpoint. I'll come inwards by 1/2 inch as well, and then I'm going to connect all the three lines together. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to be marking my waist measurement still from that line, 9.75, okay, into 4, and then I'm adding 1.5 inches sewing allowance like we did for the front. I'm adding 1.5 inch sewing allowance all the way, and then I'm connecting this together. Okay, and that's it. It's as simple as that. The back is not difficult. So remember, like we did for the front, we came inwards from the chest line by 1.5. We're doing same at the back, and then we'll connect it to the 3 inches neck width. Okay, the only difference here is that the back is a bit longer. Okay, or it's the same thing, I guess. Yes. So, and that's it for the back. It's as simple as that. You can decide to curve your back, any design you want for your back. It's totally up to you, but you have to maintain the shoulder width. Okay, so the front and the back width has to align. So at the lower part, I told you I was going to show you another hack I do. Okay, so I'm going to come upwards by 1 inch at the center of the back, and then I'll slant this to meet the sides so that both sides of the front and back will align. Okay, so it's only the center back that is going upward. This will also help your dress to sit perfectly on you. Try this hack and let me know. Okay, and I know I'm too sure it will come out perfect. And that's it for the back. Just go ahead and cut, and go ahead and cut out. Kindly like and subscribe, comment, okay, if you're getting value, which I know you are. So go ahead and cut this out, and this becomes our back piece. So just follow the way I'm cutting this out and you get a perfect fit. You cut through from the chest line if you're using the same neck width like mine. Okay, and I'm going to show you another hack. Kindly watch this video to the end. You'll learn so many things. Okay, this is a very interesting and educational channel. I'll show you how to avoid gaping on your neckline, this kind of neckline. Okay, I did remember to cut out the yoke now, but I later did. Okay, so when you fold in your zipper, this is what you have for the back. Okay, so don't forget to add 1/2 inch to your shoulder for joining. I didn't have enough, but I managed. So, and we're done with the back. It's as simple as that. So we're going to go ahead and cut out what we're going to use to cover up our bra cup. Okay, please watch closely. Make sure this fabric is on fold. Okay, the fabric, the pattern you're going to be using to cut out your bra cup has to be on fold. Now you're going to fold your bra cup into two again, the same way we did the first time. Okay, fold it into two equal halves and place it at the folded part of your pattern. Okay, now we're going to be tracing out what we need to cover up our bra cup. Make sure it's laying on the center. Just watch the way I'm doing this, and then you're going to bring in your chalk and trace out what you have. Okay, follow the pattern, the design of the bra cup. This bra cup has already been created, darts have been taken in, everything has been taken in, so this will guide us. Okay, I was cross checking if everything is laying together perfectly. So go ahead and trace what you have there, trace it out, the exact same thing. So just follow the exact shape. Can you see? The center won't be completely straight or flat, but just follow it. Can you see what we have? So these are brack up. Now remember we had 9.5 inches. If we cut just this out, this brack up will not, this pattern won't cover our bra perfectly. So when we measured earlier, remember we had 8 inches, and that's the same thing we're having here. So what is left now is 1.5 inches to make up the 9.5. I hope you understand. So from where your bracket ended, just follow the slanted line and add 1.5 inch to it. Now this will form my pattern for the 3-part corset. If you want to add, after adding your 1.5 inch or whatever difference you had, you decide to use 3 inches or 2.5 for your 3-part corset, is totally up to you. Okay, but I just wanted to use the 1.5 for the upper part. So follow the slant. Can you see what we have now? We've created a perfect cover for our bracket. No matter the size, when you use this method, it will give you a perfect fit. So now when you measure this round, can you see what we have? 9.5 inches. So our perfect 3-part corset pattern for our corset is ready. So kindly label the open side of the bra cup. When we folded is the sides. Okay, just watch. Go ahead and label. Now labeling is very important. It cannot be overrated. That's your side, this the upper part, this is up, you need to, this is the down part. You need to label so you don't mix things up when you're trying to cut out. One mistake can soil everything. Okay, so labeling, marking out is very, very vital. So go ahead and cut this out. This is what we're going to be using to cut out the fabrics for our bra cup. Now remember, this our cup number 1 has to be, the upper one has to be on fold. So I'm bringing in my pins now. I have to use my pin to hold this in place. So if you're getting value on this tutorial, which I know you are, please kindly like. Okay, as you're watching now, just click on the like button, please, so it will encourage me to do more tutorials, more educating tutorials like this. Okay, thank you. So just go ahead and follow the color. I'm taking out time to label again. Okay, I can't take that risk. So go ahead and trim off all the excesses that you had at the center. When you're done trimming off, you have your perfect bra cup for your bust, covering your bust very well. You saw how big the bra cup was. Okay, what we created. So if you follow this pattern for any bust size, even if it's a size 50, you will get a perfect fit. So I'm going to go ahead and separate this upper part. So this will be the upper part, and these 2 down pieces will be my 2 and 3. So we have a 3-part corset. Please kindly note that the center of the upper part only will be cut on fold. It's only the lower part that will be cut separately, but the upper part will be cut on fold. Do not forget that. Okay, so we have a 3-part corset. I'm going to cut this out on my fabric and ensure to add half of an inch round. Even for the upper part, you're going to be adding half of an inch round. Okay, so I've gone ahead, guys, to add stay. I'm using this black stay. So I've added stay to both my lining and my main fabric. Please, what helps your corset to come out perfect is the interfacing that you use. Okay, you may know how to do it, but if you use the wrong interfacing, you won't have that structure. Okay, now I had cut out the yoke. Okay, can you see this? I separated it. So I've added stay just to the main fabric for the back only. So look at our back cups. Can you see I added half of an inch round, okay, and our bra cup is ready. I added stay. I decided to use the main fabric to line the inner part of my corset top, okay. So if you want to use your lining, it's totally up to you, but I had enough fabric to play around with, so I just wanted to use the main fabric as the lining. So go ahead to notch the center piece. Can you see this? I notched it so you know the part that is center, and from the design you obviously know the lower part, so do not play with notching. I've notched this together and I've pinned it down, so I'll go ahead and sew them up. So guys, can you see after sewing them up, this is for the main fabric and the lining, okay. Can you see our corset is already corseting? Can you see that effect? Oh my lord. So this is so beautiful even without ironing, okay. I was too excited. I had to open up everything, okay. I'm using two for the main fabric and two for my lining piece, okay. So can you see what we have? This is so beautiful, okay. So after doing this, I'm going to go ahead and open up my seam. I'll notch this so it can lay flat. I'll iron this properly. Please do not play with your tailor's ham. Mold it. Mold your bra cup. Do not play with molding, my dear brothers and sisters. Open up the seam line and mold. If you don't have a tailor's ham, drop a comment. I'll give a tutorial on how to create one, okay. So can you see what we have? Can you see the effect? Now imagine me caging this. Do you know how beautiful this will come out? If you add caging to this, it's final, it's the bomb, okay. But this is still perfect. So now we're going to bring in our upper piece, okay. Remember the upper part, I marked it and I've notched all of them to know that this is the upper part. Remember I also told you to cut this out on fold. Can you see why? So when you open up, it becomes one. So pin this down, center piece meeting the center piece, and then you're going to join from the center to one side, join from the center as well to the other side, and a three-part corset is perfectly done. Can you see? You join them together and you do same for every other one, okay. So this is what we have after sewing this down. I haven't even ironed this out already, so I'm going to go ahead and iron this, but before I do, I'll trim off some part of it. We don't want this to be so bulky. Some persons do top stitch, okay. You can top stitch if you want to, but I didn't do that. So just trim off the excess you have and then notch before you go ahead to iron out, okay. I trimmed off so it doesn't get so bulky. Now the notching will also help it to relax, but remember to use your hairstay, okay, to open up the seam while ironing. It helps it to remain in place. So this is all we have. I'll go ahead and iron this out. I'll do same for the rest of them. Can you see what we now have? Even without adding anything to it, can you see how it's well cupped? Can you see how deep it is? Can you see what we have? So deep, and it's big enough to cover a very big bust, okay. So we're done with our bra, our corset cover. Now I'm going to bring in my bra cup. I'm going to select two of the pieces. Two will be for lining. I want to attach the bra cup to my main fabric. Now when putting this inside, ensure you have half of an inch round, okay. That half of an inch should be the half inch you use to attach to your main fabric. So I've gone ahead to sew my bra cup. Can you see? You barely can tell the difference between the one with the bra cup and the ones without. So you're going to push in after sewing round this open part. Push in your hemming gum. Just watch what I'm doing. Push in your hemming gum so that when you iron it, it will remain flat, it will remain in place. Your hemming gum, just cut pieces of the hemming gum. Your hemming gum will help the back up and your fabric to marry together. Okay, so this is what we have. I'll go ahead and iron this out. I had not ironed this. Okay, I'll mold this. I didn't really take time to do this. Okay, but please take your time. So this is what we have after ironing. This is so beautiful. I can't really overemphasize, and it's so easy. Please kindly like. Okay, so if you want to create boning lines, you can do that, but I didn't want to create for mine. Now, another easy hack that will help you to attach your bra cup very easily, in case you're having difficulties, is to notch round this round part. Can you just watch what I'm doing? Notch round. Okay, when you notch round, it will help your seam to move smoothly. And then notch round the bra cup as well. That's your half-inch mark. Yes, notch round it. So you will see that when you're trying to attach your bra cup, it will be so easy for you. Okay, try it and see what I'm talking about. So go ahead and attach it. I'll do that and show us what we have, guys. And I'll attach these ones to the lining pieces as well. So this is what we have. Can you see this? This is so beautiful. I'm loving this already. Can you see? Can you see the inside so deep? And this is the oga pata pata. This is so nice, okay? And this is also so beautiful. Please kindly like if you've watched up to this point, okay? And we're done with the front piece. Now we're going to attach the yoke. I told you I was going to show you a little hack. Okay, so what you're going to do, you can slash half of an inch, overlap it. Okay, just take out half of an inch from your yoke, but I decided to pinch mine just a little. Just pinch a little and pin it up. That little half of an inch that you're taking out to eliminate any form of gaping on your neckline. Okay, can you see what I have? You can either slash it and cover it up, or you just pinch half of an inch like I'm doing. I'm using freehand. I'm pinching because I know my half of an inch, so you can decide to mark yours to be sure. Can you see? I'm doing this again to the front piece for you to see, or a quarter of an inch, just a little. Okay, take out a little, and then we're going to use this to cut out. Now you're going to ensure your necklines are lining well. Okay, I'm throwing this to be sure it's well aligned. Okay, so I'm going to use this as a pattern to cut out on my main fabric. Remember, you're cutting out 4 pieces for each of the yoke. Okay, you're going to use 2 for one part of your shoulder, 2 for one part. You're using 1 to sew and turn. 1 will serve as lining and 1 will serve as the main fabric. So you're cutting out 4 pieces each. Please, when cutting out yours, remember to add half of an inch round aside the armhole. Do not add anything to the armhole part, but at the shoulder and at the center and at the lower part, ensure to add half of an inch. I didn't remember to add to mine, so please remember to add to yours. Okay, so we're done with our front yoke. I'm going to cut out 2 more of this for the front, and then I'll also cut out the yoke for the back piece. So I'm done with the cutting. I have 4 pieces each for both front 4 pieces, back 4 pieces. Okay, so notch your center so you know where you're going to be joining, so you don't mistakenly join the armhole part. Okay, so this is what I have. I'm going to pin down where I'm going to be sewing so I don't mix it up. So you will sew up this part, open it up, top stitch and iron it down. Okay, so your neckline comes out beautifully well. I'm just taking my time to explain all this to us so you don't make any mistake. So go ahead and pin, and then you're going to go ahead and sew it up. So this is what we have. Sew up on your neckline part, not the armhole. So when I'm done, this is what I have. I have two for the front. Can you see how neat this is? Okay, I have two for the front. I have two as well for the back. So we're going to go ahead and attach this. Remember that when we were marking this, okay, we took out 1.5 from where the back up stops. So after your 1.5-inch mark, that's where you're going to be placing your yoke, right sides facing the right side of your fabric. Can you see what I'm doing here? So bring in the front yoke, place it, okay, on that your 1.5-inch mark. Okay, can you see what we have? And then I'm pinning it down. Whatever you took when you were drafting, remember we took in 1.5 from the chest line. That's what we're doing now. So go ahead and mark your 1.5 and then bring in your yoke, right sides facing each other, facing the main fabric, and then you're going to pin this down. And you use your lining to turn everything out. So after pinning, this is what I have. I'm just cross checking again to be sure, okay, just to be sure that both sides I'm getting the right thing. So I'm going to bring in my lining as well, right sides facing each other. The center piece must align, the sides must align, everything must be perfectly and well aligned. I'm going to be sewing up the neckline and the sides. Now I'm going to be doing the same thing for the back as well. Okay, now the marking is still showing at the back, if you can see that. So open this up, bring in your yoke, okay, from the armhole for the back. Remember we did 1.5 as well, so our marking is still showing. So from the sides to where we marked at 1.5, I had 5 inches. So I'm going to do that same marking there, okay, for accuracy. I'll place it there and pin it up. So go ahead and pin yours the same way, right sides facing each other. I'll repeat the same thing for this other part. So I'm going ahead to repeat the same thing on the left hand side, and then I'll pin down. Make sure the armhole part is facing the side, okay, and the sewn part is facing the center part towards the zipper area. I hope you understand. Then place your lining on it, right sides facing each other, and sew up the neckline, the sides, and the zipper area. Now after sewing the neckline, you need to stop stitch first before you go ahead to sew up the side and the zipper area, okay? But remember, when sewing up your front neckline, use your hemming gum so that when ironing, your hemming gum will help for it to lay flat. So this is it. Can you see this? So beautiful. Oh, please give this video a thumbs up. Can you see the rack up? Whose bust won't this cover? Can you see how deep this is? We've not even caged this. Can you see? So beautiful. And these are back pieces. I've gone ahead to turn it out neatly as well. Okay, and this how it's going to look after joining everything up. So beautiful and easy. Okay, so go ahead and sew yours the same way for a perfect fit. So we're going to go ahead and join the shoulders so that we can shape the sides. So if you've been following my tutorials, you'll know how we go about joining our shoulders neatly. Open this up, right sides facing each other, okay, pin the center, the joinings must align, and then you sew up from one part to the other part with 1/2 inch, or you use the wrapping method that we use sometimes. Repeat same for the other part and then shape it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my sleeve. It's a simple basic sleeve. I have my fabric folded into four. I'm cutting the both sleeves at the same time. Now, I'm going to show us a simple hack on how to make a simple puff sleeve. The full length here is 11 inches plus hemming, but my actual sleeve is going to be 9 inches, okay? So from this opened part, I'm going to come down by 4.5 inches, okay? But for a slimmer person, you can do 4 inches. So I'm coming down by 4.5. Sorry about the reflection, okay? I was outside, so sorry guys. Just mark your 4.5 inch, and on that line you're going to be marking your round armhole measurements plus your 1 inch sewing allowance plus 2 inches, which is going to help us with our pleat. At this upper part I extended more than I should so that I can have a little bit of pleat. If you want more pleat, you can add more, okay? And now I'm taking my round sleeve plus my sewing allowance. It's as simple as that. I'll go ahead and connect this out and our sleeve is ready. If you want more puff, extend this upper part of your sleeve, extend it, make it higher, okay? You will have more pleats, but I just wanted a little bit of pleats. That's why I added just 1.5, okay? Or 2 inches, sorry. So go ahead and cut out, and your sleeve is ready. So can you see what we have? Go ahead and notch the midpoint, so this midpoint will align to your shoulder. I'm going ahead to measure, and from what I have some excess for me to pleat with. So when you open this up, you have your both sleeves. I'll go ahead and fold the lower part just the way I'm doing, and I'll attach it to my top and shape the bodice as well. Please kindly like if you haven't, and if you watched up to this point, I appreciate. Can you see this? This cup is deep and is beautiful. Can you see this beautiful piece? So nice. Can you see this? Oh, it's so beautiful. So beautiful. So can you see the little pleat we have at the shoulder? Can you see? If you want more, you can add some more. So this is what we have. I've gone ahead to shape for both front and back. So for us to cut the lower part, you're going to measure from the zipper allowance on one end to the other end to ensure you have your accurate round waist measurement plus at least 1 inch zipper allowance on both sides. So this will guide us on cutting our lining for the lower parts. So please, I'll advise for a plus size, if your waist is bigger than your hip circumference, please use a flare, either 180-degree flare or 360-degree flare, so this dress can actually pass through your body. Or you add minimum of 5 inches, or you use your hip circumference to mark the waistline. You can always split the lining, okay? So to cut the lower part, you're going to subtract your upper part, which for me was 18 inches. And then since this lining, after getting the full length of your dress, you're going to be subtracting 2 or 4 inches from that, because we don't want our lining showing at the lower part of our dress, okay? I hope you understand. So I'm going to go ahead now and mark half of an inch all the way around. I'll explain this again. Please, for your lining for this 3-step flare, it's either you use a 180-degree flare, I have the tutorial on my channel, okay, or 360-degree flare, or you use your hip circumference to cut on the waist. You're going to pleat, make little pleats to attach to the upper part so it can pass through your hip, okay? So I'm marking half of an inch at the top part. This ½ inch will serve as allowance for me to attach the upper parts to the lower parts, okay? So go ahead and mark this round. I'm taking my time to mark this so you can understand what we're doing. So after marking this, for our first step, I'm going to be coming down from this my ½ inch line. I'm going to be coming downwards by 5 inches or 6 inches. Between 5 to 6 inches is just perfect for the first step for all sizes. Okay, but I used 5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and mark this 5 inch all the way, and for the third step I'm going to be coming down by 6 inches, sorry, for the third step. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this round to get a straight line. So just go ahead and connect. For the first line, mark 5.5 to 6 inches is perfect. And then for your third line, go ahead and mark 6 or 7 inches. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, can you see what I have here? It's just perfect. So now I'm going to bring in my Ankara fabric, and then we're going to be cutting out. Now first I cut three um Ankara, 3 steps. That's the first step. I marked out 8 inches for my first step. Okay, the first step, which is the shorter one, I marked out 8 inches. Sorry, just watch the way I folded my Ankara by 45. Can you see this? Into two by 45. And then I'm going to mark down 8 inches. Sorry about the reflection, guys. It's the sun. So sorry. So I'm marking down 8 inches, and I'm going to cut this 8 inches into 4 places in order to get that fullness you saw at the beginning of this video. If you want to get that kind of fullness, minimum just do 3 times your round waist. If you're using your hip measurement, do 3 times your hip measurement in order to get a full pleat. If you don't have enough fabric, you can just make your pleats a bit scanty or your gathers a bit scanty. But if you want to have enough fullness, you do ×3 of your round waist or round hip measurement, if that's what you're using. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out this 8 inches for the first step. I'm going to cut out 3 of these. I later added one more to make it 4. Okay, so I'm done with the first step. Now for the second step, I'm going to be marking out 10.5 inches. Okay, remember you're going to be folding this, but I decided to weave mine. We call that ready-made weaving over here. So I don't know how it's called. Okay, the type of hem you saw at each step of mine. Okay, if you want that, it's called ready-made weaving. I don't know, however it's called in your own area, you can let me know. Okay, so I'm marking 10.5 for the second step. So I'm going to place this and cut out 4 pieces of this. Okay, I'm doing the same thing even for the last one. But if you want the second one to be more fuller, you can add 5 inches for the 5. You can cut out 5 of this, and then for the last one you can cut out 6. It depends on your fabric. If you have enough fabric to play around with, you can do more. But I used complete 6 yards of fabric for this dress, and it's a short one. Okay, and the pleating the gathers was really full, like the video you saw at the beginning. So it depends on you what you want. If you want to have a very full gathers, then you go ahead and do ×3 of your waist, or if you're using your hip with a full flare, whatever method you're using, you have to do more. Okay, and remember this dress is for a plus size. Okay, her waist is 39 inches, so you can see the difference. So for a slimmer person, you can even have more fabric left. Okay, now for our last step, I'm going to be marking 11.5 inches. Okay, sorry, 12.5 inches. Sorry guys, I marked 12.5 inches for the last step. The last step is going to determine the full length of your dress. Okay, so I'm marking 12.5 for the last step. I'm connecting this into a straight line. Please, accuracy is very important. Okay, so I'm going ahead to cut this out, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out 4 of these as well. Now this dress I'm putting on was made by me. If you want to see a tutorial on this, or whatever tutorial you would love to see on this channel, please kindly let me know. This new year, I would like us to interact more. I'd like us to communicate more. If there's something you want me to work on to improve on this year so we can have a smooth ride, please kindly let me know in the comments. And please like and subscribe, because we're going to be having so many beautiful tutorials coming up very soon, and you wouldn't want to miss out on it. Okay, so that's the third one. I'm going to be cutting out the last one. So just fold your fabric by 45, and then you're going to get this. When you're done, you're going to join everything for each length. For the first layer, you join it to make one long strip. For the second layer, you join it to make one long strip. For the third layer, you join it to make one long strip as well before you start gathering to your lining. So can you see what I have here? I have 4 pieces of each step. So that's the last step, this is the second step, and this is the first step. So this is the fabric I have left out of my 6 yards of fabric. So can you see this style, and especially if you're doing it for a plus size, is really consuming. So I'll show you guys how to attach this. Now this video is getting too long. I don't want it to be boring. I'm so sorry guys. I just wanted to show you guys each step of the way. So you can decide to start by working with the first layer or the last layer, but I'll advise you start with the last layer, okay, to make the work very easy for you. So I'm bringing in the last layer. This is how you're going to be placing this. After joining everything into one long strip, you're going to place it this way. Okay, you can decide to leave half of an inch on the side, or you can just stitch from the side. Place it this way and pleat or gather. When you're done, you flip it. It will be this neat. Okay, the roughness won't be showing at the upper part. I'll repeat this for all the steps. Oh boy, look at this work. I'm going to be weaving all of this. Can you see what we have? Can you see how full this is? So that's why I said it depends on how much fullness you want and how much fabric you have to play around with. Now for a plus size, you need to be careful. I'm going to be using ready-made weaving at the hem part of each of them. That's the design I want to give. So you bring in the upper parts, notch the midpoint of the upper part, and also notch the midpoint of the lower part, and then you're going to place them right sides facing each other and join them from one part to the end, from one part to the other end. Now after joining, look at this guys. Please, if you've watched this video till now, you've not liked, it's not fair. Please kindly like. God bless you. Okay, but you can choose to hem yours, sorry, fold it to the wrong side, to fold it twice and hem, but I didn't want to go through all that work right now. Okay, so I'll weave mine. So I'll show you guys how to close up the back. This tutorial is getting so long, I want to end this right now. So just place it down at the side, stitch this down. Okay, bring the second layer down, just watch what I'm doing, align it, sew it down. You can use your pins to hold it in first, so that when you get your sewing machine, you sew it up. So after doing this, you repeat same to the other side and close it up and fix your zipper. Bye guys, thank you so much.